Lincoln Associates, Columbus Injury Attorneys.
We're on the scene of the breaking news out of Troup County with authorities in a standoff with what they call armed and dangerous suspects accused in a triple murder. A live update for you coming up.
Meantime, Phoenix City police arrest a man wanted for several violent crimes after a standoff. We've got details on the suspect and how the incident all ended.
And severe weather also a story today. The leading edge of the strongest storms moving out of our viewing area, but rain stays behind. We'll talk about some of the damage left behind and more in the forecast for tomorrow and the next 9 days.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight for News Leader 9 at 6.
We are continuing to follow breaking news tonight. The urgent manhunt for 2 Florida suspects on the run who may be linked to 3 murders across the South. It was that chase has made its way now to Troup County. According to Sergeant Stuart Smith, he believes that 44-year-old William Boyette, who is accused of killing 3 women, and 37-year-old Mary Rice are inside a motel in West Point, Georgia, near Lovelace Road. News Leader 9's Elizabeth White joins us live outside or near that motel there in West Point, where cops have the building surrounded. So, Liz, I know you were moved back from the motel. What have you learned tonight?
Well, what we know right now is Boyette and Rice are believed to be inside that hotel room, surrounded by multiple law enforcement agencies, heavily armed. We do understand the U.S. Marshals, they are on scene right now. We've seen several cars pass by as well, including a K-9 team. This is what we know. Around 2:45, 3 o'clock this afternoon, a West Point police officer, a Troup County Sheriff's deputy, spotted the vehicle the suspects were believed to be in. They did confirm that was the vehicle, and they had a visual confirmation as well that the couple was inside that hotel room. What is most dangerous at this point is that they do believe it's a possibility other families, other people are staying inside this West Point motel and are unable to get out during this standoff. So if you're watching this report, police and sheriff's deputies and SWAT, they want you to stay down, stay inside your hotel room, and stay safe. We do know there are negotiators on the scene desperately making attempts to contact the couple and hopefully ask them, because they are believed to be armed and extremely dangerous, to put down their weapons and walk outside, surrender peacefully with their hands up. That is the very latest from the scene right now. As soon as we get done here, we're going to try to drive back down to the location where the road is blocked on 29. Again, it is surrounded by hundreds of law enforcement officers, SWAT, U.S. Marshals, and right now everybody is just hoping that this couple that has allegedly gone on a murder spree all across Florida, that has now apparently made their way into Troup County, Georgia, they surrender peacefully. We're going to bring you the very latest live details as they happen. We're not going anywhere until this scene wraps up, and hopefully it ends peacefully.
Yeah, definitely a potentially dangerous situation. And we're going to keep you updated on air and online at WTVM.com on this developing story. You can also download our free WTVM News app for the very latest information.
Turning to other developing news, a standoff at a Phoenix City apartment ends with 1 fugitive's arrest. Investigators tell us the man, who had several warrants for violent crimes, traveled from Pensacola, Florida to East Alabama, potentially to hide with relatives living in the area. News Leader 9's Jose Zozaya joins us now live from 22nd Avenue in Phoenix City, right across from that scene where all this standoff happened. Jose, how did police get the upper hand on this fugitive?
Jason, this all happened when a U.S. Marshal working with Phoenix City Police got a tip, and that tip led those police investigators here to believe that David Lee Hicks, the suspect in question, was trying to stay under the radar right behind me at Central Highlands apartment homes. Now, just to give you an idea of the kind of potential danger that these investigators could have faced, Hicks has been wanted on several outstanding warrants, including 2, one for aggravated carjacking and another for aggravated assault with intent to kill. Now, marshals and Phoenix City Police arrived here at Central Highlands Apartments at around noon. That is when they recognized Hicks, and the suspect made a move to go inside one of the apartment buildings and try to barricade himself in for as long as possible, which led to an eventual standoff. And investigators also told News Leader 9 he wasn't the only person barricaded inside that apartment.
He had his child with him, which was a 5-year-old. The child was actually in the apartment. We was able to speak with him and got him to release the child, and shortly thereafter he gave up peacefully and we got him into custody.
Now, Jason, we also did learn after that standoff that Hicks' sister may have also been, actually, Hicks' sister was inside that apartment during that brief standoff. We confirmed with Phoenix City Police that Hicks was not armed at the time of his arrest. Now, as for what will happen to him next now that he's in police custody, even though he has been charged as a fugitive in the state of Alabama, those outstanding warrants put him back in Pensacola. So for the time being, Hicks will be extradited back to Florida. Reporting in Phoenix City, Jose Zozai for News Leader 9. Back to you guys in the studio.
All right, thank you so much, Jose.
Well, severe weather strikes across South Louisiana and Mississippi, causing major damage to buildings and homes, leaving thousands without power.
At least 4 tornadoes touching down in the Gulf Coast area. Some injuries have been reported, but authorities have yet to confirm now how many. Fortunately, those storms, which are moving out of our area now, didn't pack quite the punch as it did in the Gulf Coast. As we take a live look now at our current conditions and the live drive in Columbus.
And let's turn things over now to Chief Meteorologist Derek Kincaid. And Derek, I know you said we were kind of on the fringe of these storms now, so when do we expect things to clear up?
Well, the rain's going to continue for a while. I mean, that's going to go maybe through tonight even. But as far as the stormiest of the weather, it's on the way out. Now, we still have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for parts of Sumter County. And that includes Lake Blackshear. Got our email from somebody on Lake Blackshear, said the winds are whipping around pretty good. A new tornado warnings just popped up that unfortunately includes the Albany area. So Dougherty and Lee counties under a tornado warning now. That is heading, though, away from our coverage area. Remember, most of us not under any sort of alert. No watches, no warnings for most of us, but the showers and the stormy weather, well, it continues. Here you see that leading edge of the storms now pushing into Macon, Georgia. The storms coming through Albany right now, again heading off to the east. But for most of us, this is just a rain event as of right now. Of course, they're still picking up the pieces. Some damage reports today from Catala, from Opelika. I know we've got some video coming in from some of those spots as well. Here's the big picture. You can see the showers moving on through. Lingering rain possible all the way through the nighttime hours tonight. It wouldn't be out of the question to keep on seeing some showers around here at times through the rest of the evening. So don't forget about that WTVM weather app, a great weather resource for you. The interactive radar there, a fantastic spot where you can go and get information about what's going on. Also, our text alerts come through on the app as well. So again, just a good way to stay informed when it comes to severe weather like we had today. Things playing out exactly as we thought they would. A line of storms with some embedded areas of damaging winds. So when the weather threatens like this, check out the weather text alerts by texting WTVM in the name of your county to 24247 to get those alerts on the phone if your county goes under any sort of watch or warning. Joining us live now in the live drive vehicle, we have our very own Sharifa Jackson, who's on the road. I believe you're heading up toward Catala, where we had some reports of damage earlier today, right, Sharifa?
That's right, Derek. We are heading towards Catala now. We are on 185 northbound. I'm going to turn it around so you can see exactly what's going on. The rain is still coming down pretty hard. You can see our windshield wipers. They're still going at a moderate pace. Just rain, some slick roads, so you want to pay attention to that if you are out on the roads. But other than that, that is all we are seeing at this time. Of course, we're headed towards Catala, where there are reports of trees and power lines down. But here in Columbus, it's just been heavy rain, so we've just been trying to navigate through that. So be careful, be cautious if you are on the roads. Keep your windshield wipers at a high pace and just pay attention. There are some slick roads that we were driving through. So as I said, just be careful and be cautious if you are on the roads now. We're headed to Catala, where we'll have some reports on the storm damage that is up there, and we'll be able to keep you guys updated on air and online as it becomes available to you. But I'm gonna send it back to you guys in the studio.
Yeah, definitely a time to slow down. You guys be careful, Sharifa. Thanks. And remember, you can get severe weather alerts sent straight to your phone. All you have to do is text WTVM and your county name with no spaces 24/7.
You can also get the latest updates sent right to your phone with the News Leader 9 mobile app.
Well, the LaGrange State Patrol confirming to News Leader 9 that a pedestrian was hit and killed last night. The incident claimed the life of 48-year-old Donna Turner around 7:30 on West Point Road near Avery Drive. The
driver did stop, we're told, but the name of the driver has not been released. It's not known if charges will be filed against that driver.
Georgia Republican Senator David Perdue unveiling legislation today that would cut more than half the number of refugees permitted to enter the country. It would also add new limits on which types of family members that U.S. citizens and permanent residents can sponsor for green cards. Perdue's co-authored legislation is called Reforming American Immigration for Strong Employment Act, or the RAISE Act. They say the goal is to help shield low-skilled American workers who have seen their wages frozen over the past few decades due to, in part, to foreign-born competition.
Alabama Governor Robert Bentley using the first day of the legislative session to propose a 4% pay raise for state employees. Finance Director Clinton Carter announced that proposed pay raise during budget presentations today. The raise would cost the state general fund a projected $19 million. Some lawmakers worry the state does not have the funds to maintain the raise in the future years and fully fund employees' insurance. Other major issues before lawmakers include Governor Bentley's $800 million prison construction proposal and also court-ordered redistricting.
Well, a thunderstorm is one of the most common weather threats we face here in the Chattahoochee Valley. Storm Team 9 will explain what you need to know to stay safe.
And the Atlanta Falcons have found their next offensive coordinator, and it leaves Alabama looking for one. Details on Steve Sarkisian's move to the pros ahead in sports.
And we have an update on that breaking news where that couple was holed up in West Point, believed to be connected to triple murders across the South. We have an update now going on with the man and woman involved in that.
We believe that Boyette has been killed in that standoff, and Sergeant Stuart Smith from Troup County Sheriff's Department speaking right now. Let's listen in.
What kind of relief are you feeling at this point in time, knowing that it's over and none of your law enforcement officers were injured in this?
Well, I mean, it's just a great relief that, this didn't drag on longer and longer, because the longer it does, the more lives that could be at risk.
And the families and the people that were staying at that hotel as well, are you so glad that they are safe as
Absolutely.
well?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
She's not hurt or any injuries?
I believe she's being assessed. I don't know if she's injured or not. I just know she is in custody.
Can you take us back to how this started? When was the couple spotted?
It was about 2:30. We received some information that the vehicle may be at the hotel, and it was confirmed. And then we went further from there and confirmed that there were some people possibly in that room.
And then who confirmed it was them?
I don't know the exact extent of how we confirmed it, but there was confirmation that it was their vehicle, and then there were people in the room, and we believed it was them.
And I apologize if this has been asked already, but
Right.
did you ever make contact with them before?
I can't confirm that. I don't know.
What do you want to say about that? Was it a West Point police officer or was it a Troup County deputy that initially spotted their vehicle at the motel?
I believe both went out there, but I don't know who was the first one on scene to confirm it.
What do you want to say about that type of police work, that is what led to this?
Yeah, well, we work great, everybody here in this county, the Troup County Sheriff's Office, LaGrange, West Point, Hogansville, all of us work great together, and it takes all of us working together in situations like this to get it resolved peacefully.
And this must be a relief. Again, they are accused of 3 murders. This must be a relief for the victims' families.
Absolutely, and anybody that may be in that area as well.
Any word on any charges she'll be facing?
I can't speak on that, no.
She has already been charged with murder in connection with one of those.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have their charges.
And no, any weapons recovered from the
I don't know.
hotel
I'm not
room?
up there yet.
Okay.
so.
Have you been able to search the car? What else did you find in the vehicle?
I have no idea
Too
yet.
early, right?
Right,
Thank
right.
you, sir.
About how long would you say the whole, would you call this a standoff?
Well, yeah, I mean, they were in the room and they weren't coming out, so
Okay.
yeah.
And about how long would you say until they?
We got here around 2:30 and this ended in the last 20 minutes or so, whatever time frame that is. All right, guys, you good?
Okay, yep, we're good.
All right, thanks.
Thank you so much. All right.
There's
there
an
you go, the very
update there on that breaking news out of West Point. The Florida couple wanted in connection with 3 murders across the South. We hear now that the man, William Boyette, has been found in that hotel room. Apparently, he is deceased.
And the female suspect involved in that standoff in custody now. This ending peacefully. The standoff lasting, it looks like, about 3.5 hours there in West Point at that motel, and ending peacefully. So nobody, no officers hurt in this standoff at all.
And again, they were wanted for a connection, allegedly connected to 3 murders across the South. We're going to keep you updated on air, online, WTVM.com on this developing story.
You can also download our free WTVM News app for the very latest on what happened here with the 1 dead after this standoff.
Now, from your Storm Team 9 Alert Center, WTVM Chief Meteorologist Derek Kincaid.
And time to talk a little weather for you tonight. Latest on the warning situation. As far as our immediate viewing area goes, no active watches or warnings, but we are watching to our south another tornado warning for Dougherty and Lee County, Georgia. And unfortunately, that includes the city of Albany. So they are once again dealing with some rough weather tonight. A severe thunderstorm watch in effect for Terrell, Lee, and Dougherty counties as well. And then parts of southwest Georgia and the Florida Panhandle. That's going to go out for a little while longer as we continue to watch this line of storms that's been coming on through today. There's that storm about to cross into the Albany area that's prompting that tornado warning, but the leading edge of the worst of the weather finally out of here, really crossing over Macon, crossing over Interstate 75. For most of us, this is just now a rain event. The roads are going to be wet. It's going to be rough going if you have any commutes to make later on this evening or tonight, but the roads again wet, but as far as the severe weather risk, that is pretty low through the rest of tonight. That's the good news. Here's the big picture. The storm's rumbling through today. Along this line, there were a few areas embedded of some strong gusty winds. So again, that's something that we'll be watching for you very carefully. Tomorrow, the severe weather outlook to our north from Highway 80 and points to the north from there. The best chance of a strong storm tomorrow. So once again, an alert day out for your Wednesday. The coverage of rain about 30%. Will cool things down Thursday and then start that warming process by the time we head into the weekend. Tonight, your forecast 58 degrees with a chance of showers, 72 your high tomorrow. Then for Auburn and Opelika, 58 tonight, the high tomorrow at 72. The winds out of the southwest 8 to 16 miles per hour. And over the next 9 days here, you can see once we get past tomorrow, weather improves in a big way. The sun comes back out and we do start another warm up by the time we get ready for the weekend, guys.
All right, sun coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, it will.
Eventually.
Eventually. Yeah, and again, once we get past tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, we'll really start to see some big improvements in the forecast.
All right. Thank you, Derek.
All right.
Today marks the second day of severe weather preparedness week for the state of Georgia. Yesterday, Storm Team 9 bringing us information on family preparedness. Today, the focus is thunderstorm safety.
And thunderstorm safety is very relevant as storms continue to track across the valley this evening. And our chief meteorologist, Derek Kincaid, is here. But Mallory Schnell has more information on how to stay ahead of the storm.
Thanks, guys. A simple thunderstorm is one of the most common weather hazards we may face here in the Chattahoochee Valley. In fact, did you know that the United States sees more than 100,000 thunderstorms each and every year? Now, only about 10% of these are considered severe, but let's break down what that actually means. A severe thunderstorm is not based on its rain or lightning, even though we know that those can be impactful. A severe thunderstorm must have winds 58 miles per hour or more, or hail an inch in diameter or larger. That's about the size of a quarter. Now, these are the hazards that trigger your weather radio or the WTVM Weather Mobile app.
Of course, it doesn't take a severe thunderstorm to cause damage or be impactful for you. All thunderstorms contain lightning, and gusty winds and heavy rain may be additional threats you have to deal with as well. The best place to be in any storm is inside a sturdy structure and away from windows. Because non-severe storms won't prompt alerts like watches and warnings, you'll need another way to track them.
And our interactive radar on the free WTVM Weather Mobile app is a great way to do just that. You can scroll down to tap on the radar, or you can just tap the word radar on the bottom of your screen. You can even animate it to see where storms are heading. If you tap on the 3 stacked boxes at the bottom right, you can turn on and off different layers like watches and warnings, storm tracks, lightning, and the satellite radar. All helpful tools from the Storm Team 9 Alert Center to keep you ahead of the storm.
All right, good information there.
Yeah, as we said, very relevant for today. It seems like we've had something to talk about so far each day this week, Monday, Tuesday. These storms are coming through. So, yep, get the app and stay updated.
All righty. Thank you, Derek.
All right.
We'll be right back.